if you are a fan of Red Pill content, you'll definitely like this song from my boy ShamlessDab 2.0. Go and check it out. The link is in the description box. What's going on, fam? Jaye Black here with another video. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. I want to speak on this David Ortiz situation. I mean, this is a situation that happened out of nowhere. It was in the Dominican Republic, which is David Ortiz's home. Is where he's from, even though he played baseball in MLB in America, of course. And I think he frequently would go back there. For those of you also who don't know David Ortiz, he's a former Major League Baseball player, played for the Minnesota Twins, and he also played for the Boston Red Sox. That's where he made a name for himself, with the Boston Red Sox. He had recently retired, right? One of the best hitters I've ever seen in the baseball. Because y'all know I'm a Yankees fan, if you don't know. And whenever they needed him in a big moment, he always delivered. It would be him and Manny Ramirez, who is also from Dominican Republic. But I think he grew up as well in Washington Heights in the Bronx in New York. But he was always a clutch guy, always. They needed a big hit. He was the guy in the middle of the lineup. Like, you just knew when they needed a big home run, he would be able to deliver as a DH. You know, I've watched my fair share of baseball. Haven't seen much recently, but yeah, I've grew to become a fan of him on the field. And he always seemed like a cool dude, though. I don't think there's anybody who say one bad thing about David Ortiz. You know, so when this situation happens, when apparently this guy who walked in to, I believe, this restaurant and just shot David Ortiz in the back. And it's like, for what? He also hit, the bullet also hit David Ortiz's friend as well. And what happened was, as soon as it happened, the dude that pulled the trigger, he immediately got caught by the bystanders in that place, and they beat him down. They beat him down. Okay, there's a video of it. There's literally a video. This dude's bloodied up, and he's leaning up against this wall, and you could just see the confusion in his face. Like, I don't know why he thought that he could do this, and they would see. This is the Dominican Republic. This ain't America. Okay, a lot of things happen in these different countries in South America. I've seen it, you know, and I don't know how you can do this to a guy like David Ortiz and think that these guys were not going to do something to you, bro. Okay, it was definitely going to be mob justice, and that's what seemed like being the situation. But what's crazy was that I believe even the getaway driver got whooped. He got beat on. And he didn't even know, according to him, what was happening. But apparently what had happened was David Ortiz had been messing around, allegedly, with a drug lord's wife. And they're saying that this is the reason for the hit. But apparently, according to the Daily Mail, his representatives are denying this. Now, David Ortiz did go through, I believe, 6 hours of surgery to have the injuries repaired. He was also moved from Dominican Republic to Boston, all right, to have further work done. I think he's out of surgery now, and is said to be resting. All right. Now, according to the Daily Mail, they say there is no doubt that it was an act of hired killers. If we had known there was a dangerous situation, he would have not been there in that moment, said Leo Lopez. It's a representative. And they're also denying that it had anything to do with that particular woman. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, because at the hospital, you had two women, two of David Ortiz's side chicks, fighting in the lobby. So something's going on, bro. Because why are these women fighting? Why are two of his side chicks fighting? Let me tell you something. When these situations occur, they occur for two reasons. One, either money, and according to them and the people around him, he did not deal with those unsavory people. or two, it has something to do with a woman, because a woman is a man's pride. And when you mess with a man's woman, he feels like you are messing with his pride. So we're going to find out more eventually, but I truly believe that it has some significance to it. Okay. Now, according more to the Daily Mail, it says Ortiz is expected to make a full recovery, but suffered liver damage during a 6-hour operation, his spokesman said. He has been cleared to travel and will fly back to Boston on a plane provided by his old team on Monday once it is ready. The level of stability that Big Papi is showing at this moment makes it possible for him to travel immediately, one doctor involved in his care told ESPN. The former slugger for the Boston Red Sox was hit in the back at a near point-blank range while having drinks with friends, including local TV host Joel Lopez. Now, I saw the video. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have. This dude literally walked up. And I'm telling you, they're going to be making documentaries about this, or documentary videos about this. They're going to be breakdown videos about this and people talking about this. You look at the video, the dude walked up behind him, pointed and shot. What I'm surprised is it didn't really happen that fast. So I'm trying to figure out, did anybody not see it and say anything? Or was people just doing their own thing? Because David Ortiz had his back turned to the sidewalk. So only the people in front of him will know what's going on behind him. And he's sitting there and nobody sees what's going on. You know? That's what's crazy. Let's see. The former slugger for the Red Sox, I already read that. Police have arrested Eddie Feliz Garcia so far, but their investigation is ongoing. Garcia was chased down at the bar by a crowd of Ortiz supporters and was beaten relentlessly until police arrived. I said it was a restaurant. I meant to say it was a bar. That was my mistake. He was driving the motorcycle, but is not the man who pulled the trigger. The shooter has yet to have been named, is also in custody. They You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Both of these guys were attacked. You know, and one is like, I didn't know what was going on. And you got to ask yourself, was this a hit? Because usually in these situations, the only person that knows what happened is the person who had the weapon. You know? In this situation, like I said before, these situations happen for two reasons. Either you mess with somebody's money, or a man's woman. And it wouldn't be far-fetched to say it was that. Because you got to look at it this way. We don't really know everything that go on in people's private lives. We think because people are celebrities, right? We know them. We think we know what type of people they are. We think we know what type of husband they are, father they are, you know? But we really don't. David Ortiz may be the coolest guy in the world, but we know that he's made some mistakes because there are women literally fighting in the lobby who are not his wife, and they're not family. So who are they? And he's been married for 17 years. His wife is having to go in front of the media and speak on the behalf of her husband, who is in a really bad situation, man. But I will say this, though. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Again, they're going to be making documentaries about this in the future. You have to always look at everybody in a situation. How would you know someone is at a certain place? Let me say something. When you contract people to do certain hits, you have to know when and where a person is going to be. And you always got to look to the people around an individual before you look outward. Because, you know, the spokesperson doesn't doubt that this guy was hired. But you got to say to yourself, who hired him? Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I've seen enough of these situations to know that it could be the person who he knows the most. It could be a person that he lives with. It could be a person that he's related to. It could be a person he's friends with. If you don't believe me, go look at the Lorenzen Wright situation. His wife goes on TV and acts like the grieving, wife or ex-wife, whatever. Years later, we find out that she orchestrated his untimely demise. And there have been other instances of it. I'm not saying his wife had anything to do with it. I'm just saying you just don't know when these type of situations occur. Why would anybody in the Dominican Republic want to take this guy out when he's basically a national hero? There have been so many talented baseball players that come out of Dominican Republic. They're like a baseball factory, okay? He's one of many great players from there, but he seemed to have really be loved by that community. That's why those bystanders, beat the brakes off of those two guys, because they love David Ortiz, and they really could not believe what had happened to him. But I'm saying in these situations, you have to look at everything, the people around him. Let's see. Something else. Ortiz, who retired from baseball in 2016, is from Dominican Republic and splits his time between the city of Santo Domingo, where the attack happened, and Miami, where he lives with his wife and children. He is well known in Santo Domingo and is known to frequent the bars and restaurants where the attack happened. Before he was hit, he and Lopez were seen with other men drinking and smoking cigars. He was sitting at a table with Lopez when the guy approached him on the back of a motorcycle and shot him. The crowd seized on Garcia as Ortiz was taken to the hospital. Initial reports suggest that it was an attempted robbery. Police have since dismissed that. That was no robbery. That was no robbery. This is a very unfortunate situation to a guy who a lot of people love and really care about. And we're going to find out more. But this is what we know right now. I may end up making a rebuttal video. I probably will making a second video rebuttaling my first one. And just keep y'all updated on it. All right.